welcome.
Welcome. Yeah, as you know, this is three of us.
Hello.
Our site guy, Mr. Chris, main man host Baker is doing off-site work tonight. You know, trying to help keep the show alive. You know, this is me, Michael. I'm sitting here with
Danon.
and
Rob.
and we're here to bring you around the minors. The show about all the minor league, well, some of the minor leagues and the lower tier leagues, part of hockey, lower than the NHL or the National Hockey League. First of all, man, we got breaking news that happened today, and I'm sure the people at Elmira are happy about this. But it's kind of perplexed to me how it all went down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. First of all, to talk about the news, it broke today at the My Twin Tiers news feed in Elmira. That First Arena gets a new lease avoiding demolition concerns. That means Elmira should have hockey back soon. On another note, this also said that Robbie Nichols, the guy who helped run and keep First Arena going, and also the head man in charge of the Elmira Enforcers, is no longer be a part of that.
Right.
What gets me is that how the whole thing went down.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of odd because first you have an arena that's okay. You have to make about $1 million in repairs, and it's got condemned, and you got to talk about demolishing it. And then all of a sudden you bring in new guys in, and it's like, oh, it's not that serious about it. Let's get a new lease going. Let's call it a day. As for the people in Elmira, I'm happy with them. I'm happy they're going to see hockey again. But I'm kind of saddened by the fact that Robbie's not running the team anymore. So what do you think?
I'm the same way. I think the way they went about it is kind of shady, or behind the
scenes,
behind the books or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
It doesn't seem right. It seems like you tell one team owner the building's not safe to use, and that there's going to be no team and no junior team, so everybody has to vacate, and then all of a sudden a new group comes in, and the building doesn't need as much work as we thought.
Right. As that same aspect, it becomes like, you're right, it does seem shady. It seems really shady. I think one of the push Robbie out there. Rob, what you think?
Yeah, I think it's a little shady on that, honestly.
Okay, but what do you guys feelings about the people of Elmira getting hockey back?
I think it's great that there'll still be hockey there, because we know they got one heck of a fan base. We have a few that come on our show, for the Main Street Prowler show, and talk with us all the time, and I just hope they get still really good quality hockey, to watch, again, because as a hockey fan, and the love of hockey, I just hope they get a good experience still, and these new people that are going to run it do a good job, So.
Rob, what do you think about the people in Elmira?
It's going to be pretty good having Elmira back in the league and everything.
But it's not going to be probably called the Enforcers.
The way Elmira is, I'm thinking that it could be Elmira.
Let's talk names,
it's too far ahead. But It's nice to see First Arena have that stability again.
Yep.
And
get the atmosphere back going in the
right.
city.
And I know I mentioned it beforehand that First Arena is also the name of First Group of America, a company that I work for, unfortunately. I mean, I'm just kidding, not unfortunately. But, I work with the sub-company First Student, which is now it's been sold to another corporation, another transportation corporation, but it still kept the name. Now, I wonder if that had anything to do with the saying of the rehabilitation of First Arena and how the city went around with it. That's the question I have, but opinions would be like, okay, what do you think about the naming rights of First Arena and maybe possibly First Group of America having something to do with that aspect of getting Elmira back hockey?
It's hard to say. It just still kind of weird how the whole thing transpired. We'll have to wait and see. I just it could be, you know, like you're saying, you know, it could, and hopefully it turns out to be a really good thing.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, big turnout.
Okay, but at least America's hockey back, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
One. I'm grateful for that
We
one.
get our Elmira friends.
Yeah. Like I said, we hate seeing teams leave and
Right.
fold.
Right.
You know, it's hard enough to get a program going and keep it going. You know, and then when you start losing the teams, it makes it a lot worse.
Okay.
You know.
Now, as for Robbie's take on this is that now he's running and I'm going to switch to this again, the Vermilion Bobcats in the SPHL.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll make sure I got that correct.
Southern Professional Hockey League.
Yes, in a city that's known for hockey in Danville, who once of the Danville Dashers. I also see that although there has been slow going for that, I can see that team actually growing to a nice fan base there in Danville. Now, word has it they will probably get a loss for the first seed. I don't see that loss happening. I don't see the loss happening for the city of Danville because they get hockey, and the SPHL is probably going to make a profit doing other things like concession stand sales or souvenir sales or special events and all that. But I don't know. I mean, what I gather, the seating in that arena is only 2,500. So, I mean, do you think they would make a loss out of it?
Hopefully, like you said, in their other sales, they can make up the difference. But for ticket sales, yeah, if they don't do something other than their ticket sales, they're not. They're going to take a loss. They're going to take a loss in price.
Do you think there will be a rise in ticket prices coming next season?
I think so.
Yeah, I think maybe not. You know, because when you set a price, it might go up a little bit, but you're not going to see a drastic increase because
like
then the fans aren't going to come because they're going to say, well, that's too big of a boost in price from last year. You know, because even you hear that in all the leagues. If you jump too fast, it's hard on the your fan base. If they got that steady increase, it'd be fine. You know, but if it's too big of a boost, you're going to lose a huge amount of fan base that way too. Is my opinion. You know, because like I said, it makes even here if going from one price to another slowly. You can try and budget it, but if it jumps too fast, it's hard to, if you're on a fixed income, it's really hard to budget that. Especially if you got more than one person in your family. Because we have some of them that go to our games. I got 4 people in a family. Yeah. 4 tickets.
It's like $44 or up to $45.
$15 for a person.
Well, you got to remember, ticket prices went to $15 this year, right?
Yeah.
So you're talking
for adults.
For adults, so you're talking $60 for 4 adults to go see a game. I remember last year the Prowlers had like a family of 4 pack, $44, and you got food out of it.
Yeah.
But you're able to watch a good game and
all
the way through. So we're looking at right now. We're looking at it could actually happen for the Bobcats as well.
Yeah, for here though, for that situation, if you got a group, you're better off, get a bigger group together and do the 10 for 100, I believe it is.
Yeah.
You get 10 tickets for $100.
Okay.
They do give you a discount if you buy, a group amount. So you're better off doing it that way. Find 10 friends that want to go and just buy your tickets all together.
Right.
And so you can get the discounted price instead of going separate.
Right. Now, the other big thing, I know we talked to Prowlers last night, and we talked about the Black Bears and how dominant they were on Friday night.
Yep.
I want your opinion about how dominant they can be in this league.
Who?
The Binghamton Black Bears.
If they keep playing the way they're playing, they're gonna be the team to reckon with this year.
They could go all the way.
Do you think they will give Columbus a run for their money?
Yes.
The 2021 Ignite Cup champions. Yes, we know some people want to put an asterisk to that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Some call.
I mean, they don't see that as a
Yeah.
championship thing.
Yep.
It's a shortened season. It's like it's like the Houston Astros win the World Series and now they finally cheated.
Yeah, but everybody that played had a fair chance to get the cup.
If you remember, Columbus brought up a bunch of AHL and old players that they hadn't before.
I mean, but it doesn't matter though. Either way it goes, they still
To
won
a
the cup.
point, because we all had to follow under the point rule that they have for setting your team.
Cap space,
Every
wasn't
team had that chance to bring in type players like that. We chose to, bring our team back, our normal team back, and give them the playing experience. And I'll tell you what, them getting that play experience against AHL players and all that, I think helped. Because you're playing against higher players and stronger players. You're going to learn to play and play stronger
the way
hockey.
they want to play.
So I have no problem with it. Every team had a chance to do that. If they didn't, I guess, that was their choice.
Okay.
Because like I said, you had the cap point system that they were talking about. Long as you didn't go over it, each AHL player was worth this amount of points. SPHL player was worth this amount. FPHL this amount. Long as you didn't go over your setting, you were within the league rules.
Right.
Yep.
So basically, since we're not calling it a fluke now, I know it's early predictions, and I'm just throw this out here. Season just started. We all know the Prowlers are the team to beat. Flat out, we know this. We're hardcore Prowler fans. But just out of curiosity, besides the Black Bears and besides possibly the River Dragons, who else do you think would be the sleeper?
The sleeper?
The sleeper in the league. Yes.
I'm gonna have to say Carolina.
Carolina the sleeper?
I wouldn't give Carolina the sleeper this year, honestly. If they were playing like they were last year, then I'd say yeah. But not this year.
No, all right.
You got to look at who. You got to look at
who's on the league.
Okay, we got Watertown, Binghamton.
Delaware Thunder. Yep.
The Thunder will be the sleeper.
Yep.
Because aren't they in last right now?
Right now, it's as opposed to stats strike. I love these stats.
I'm calling it now. They're gonna make a big comeback.
You
Well, right now they played 5 games and haven't.
All right.
won a
Well,
game
think
yet.
about it. Think about it.
They have to be close.
All right. I guess Rob could be right on that because look how we played the first few seasons in the beginning of the season,
Yep.
and then as the season went.
Okay.
They get
If
better and better.
we're gonna go back to the Prowlers' first season, how they was up by 5 goals and lost in OT. Yes, I was at that game.
Yeah.
It was like a 10-goal game, and they were like 10-5 going to the third period. They blew 5 goals in that game and ended up losing the OT 11-10. Or it could have been up 9-5 and lost in 10-9 in OT. I can't remember which. I was at that game. It was a Saturday night game, and I'll tell you, I left very upset.
Yeah.
First season. Probably vowed never to come back. But I'm glad at the fact that it came back and they did win a title. However, this is Delaware's second full year now. I mean, granted, they do have the team to build upon and go with, but the teams in this league now in the FPHL are just too good. They're just way too good.
I am too good.
I mean, you want to talk sleeper for me? Okay, first of all, I asked Rob. He says Delaware. What do you think is a sleeper?
I think, as always, not Elmira, but Watertown's a team that you can't take for granted. Even because every team has its days where they don't play the greatest. I don't think we always got to watch out for Watertown.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, okay, you got Delaware for some reason I have no idea, but okay, we'll go over there. You got Watertown, you got Watertown, who's right now top of the league right now.
What about Chris?
Right. Okay.
Like I said, I know they're at the top of the league, but I'm just saying, it's.
Okay,
it's
I know it's early. Since Chris is off camera, our producer Justin's off camera, I'm gonna ask you guys, who is your sleeper? Let's start with Chris.
He can actually pull that up to face down.
So technically,
And it's not. And we just froze.
we're frozen.
Yeah, you froze.
Well, you know what? I'm going back since I'm technically out over there already.
Right, there you go.
So technically, I'm going. I want to go with the Columbus. To tell you the truth, I'm going with Columbus my sleeper. They're gonna stay around the middle of the league until the end of the season, when they're gonna blast into the playoffs, and they're gonna be a force to reckon with. To tell you the truth. So.
Okay.
But
Columbus is a good choice. Justin, who you got for a sleeper?
I got Danbury.
Oh, okay. Why do you say Danbury?
Because they got a good team this year. They just got to learn to play together.
You know what? Honestly, truthfully, I agree with Justin because that's gonna be my sleeper. The reason why he said for reasons like that, yes, Danbury does have a good team. Danbury has an awesome team. They beat the Prowlers twice on Danbury home ice, and every game they played in so far have been close.
Yep.
They could have won or lost it. So, like Justin said, they gel together. They could be a force to reckon with in this league. I mean, quite honestly and truthfully, we're talking like guys who came back in Danbury. Plus, we got some Elmira guys in Danbury as well. So, I really do believe that Danbury is a real force to reckon with. The thing that may hold Danbury back, however, is like you said, water time. Mm-hmm. But of course, that's the league's baby. I'm just gonna call it that's the league's baby. And the reason I say that because yes, that's everybody's favorite team right now. Watertown. Well, they was Elmira, but Elmira's no longer in the league.
Yeah.
So then you got Watertown running the show. But if I couldn't pick the Prowlers, I would have to go with Danbury.
But hasn't Watertown always ran the show?
I mean,
They
not
were-
always.
Never mind. I'm not even gonna push
We're not.
it.
I'm trying to steer away from that. Just a little bit. Try to keep it clean. Keep it clean.
Since you're turning away, there you go.
Well, no, I'm just saying, yeah, it's one of those biggest things. And since this is our around the minor league show, that I can kind of say one thing about I don't agree on in our league. One of the commissioner actually owns a team, and I don't believe that's fair in a way because to me that's conflict of interest when you are the one that's supposed to make the rules for the team and you own a team.
You could say the same thing for the Arizona Coyotes.
And I do. I do.
Say the same thing for the
I don't agree. I don't think
NHL owns that one too as well. As we have. NHL owns that one as well, so you can see the exact same thing for them. So, I mean, I meant though, yes, they do own the team, but Watertown, even with them owning the team, has had continued success. Granted, the commission does run it, but the players still got to play.
right.
They still have to play.
But what I mean by that is not the league that owns it; it's the commissioner that owns the team.
But the players still have to play. The players, it doesn't. Okay, the commission may own the team, but the players still have to play. And granted, however, you're right. I don't agree with the commission owning any team, anyways. I don't in any league, any team. However, it is what it is right now. And so Watertown still right now sitting at a 6-2 win-loss record. Highest winning percentage so far in the league at .708. Then we have the Black Bears at 5-3, with a winning percentage of .625. The River Dragons of Columbus sitting at 3-1. 3-1-2. That's an OT loss, unfortunately. It's in a percentage of .611. The Danbury Hat Tricks, which I still think is a cool name. I'm not gonna lie, I love the Hat Tricks name. Sitting at 7-4-1. 4-2-1 with a percentage of .571. The Prowlers at 4-3-1, sitting at an even 500. The Thunderbirds, who I thought was going to be great this year, even without the head coach of Andre Nietzsche going away. Sitting at the record of 3-5, with a percentage of .333, and the Delaware Thunder is 0-5. It's been at 0. So, I mean, that's how it is right there. Before we go to commercial break and move on, I want to say welcome to Around the Miners. Please go to the website, support the stream. If you love us, you know, like what we do. Well, our producer's head is in the ring right now. he showed off his Spartan green and green and brown right now. But just want to throw it out there.
And this is Grimm's first time on the show.
Let's see. So please go to mainstreetbluewater.com, buy the merch, support the stream. You know, thank you for joining in, and we'll be right back after these commercial breaks.